Obsession is an unsettling psychological thriller that goes straight into your brain. It makes you feel eerie, uncomfortable, and uneasy. It teaches you to be careful for what you wish for. But is it really one of the best movies of 2026 or just overhyped? Let's talk about it. Obsession is everything that can go right with the movie. It does have a plot that we've seen before, but yet somehow it was explored and relayed in such a horrific, fresh, cynical take. It has likable characters that go through disastrous moments, and you feel the pain deep in your chest. It has amazing storytelling that leaves you traumatized to fall in love with the friend in your close circle. And it has intense acting and intense character development. All of that mixed with some creepy psychological themes. Yeah, this movie has it all. Hell, it even has some juicy drama between all the friends in this circle in this movie. Obsession tells a story about a shy, timid guy, Bear, who keeps to himself and is deeply in love with his close childhood friend, Nikki. Bear buys her a throwaway gift, a One Wish Willow, which claims to provide the user one wish. Unable to confess his love for her, he makes a wish. Things then take a cynical turn. What can I say? Obsession is clearly a highlight of 2026. This movie is the outcome of a team who has a clear vision. A vision to make everyone feel bothered by what they see on the big screen, but yet have a great time from start to finish. This movie has some dark as hell moments about losing things close to you in your life, like losing a pet and losing friends in your close circle. It deals with losing yourself when you finally get what you want. It shows you how someone's selfishness can overtake their kindness and turn cynical, only to fulfill your own satisfaction and neglect the needs of others. Yet somehow, despite having those dark intense moments, this movie makes you laugh so freaking much. I have not laughed for movies this much in the theaters at all this year in 2026, which baffles me. This is what I mean by how the team behind this movie had a clear, simple, yet effective execution, because the final product will make your mouth and jaw drop. Your mind will be blown by the time you're done watching this movie. I was in complete shock by the time it ended. I was thinking, what the hell just happened? What the hell did I just see? This was a major roller coaster that I was not ready for. I was extremely horrified by certain moments in the movie, mainly knowing someone is being forced to act a certain way and not being forced by someone, but rather an unknown entity. There are certain scenes that take you way out of your comfort zone here. This movie had me feeling unsettled, anxious, nervous, and uncomfortable as each scene played out. Things here gradually go off the rails, and each scene gives you a glimpse of how crazy things are going to get. Because it sure as hell goes insane full throttle here. Like when Bear first makes the wish, and Nikki's in front of her front porch, completely covered by a shadow. That entire scene laid the ground for the rest of the movie, and it was perfect. Also, when Nikki's taken back home by Ian after Bear makes the wish, and then Ian and Bear on the phone talking, and then Nikki knocks on the door. As Bear and Nikki talk, her eyes are pure black, as dark as the abyss. She had a stare of a demon. Even when Nikki watches Bear sleep, and then the following day is when shit begins getting really creepy. Nikki just stands on the same spot waiting for Bear after he leaves for work. Then afterwards, Nikki reads a horrific retelling of Hansel and Gretel at Ian's party. And then of course, the very last scene in this movie, it was just horrifying to watch. It was pretty intense. But I will say two things here, brick and sandwich. All of these scenes left the crowd that I was with in the theater shocked and in shambles, at least I know I was. And despite feeling this way, you bet your ass I will go back and see this movie as many times as I can in the theater. Aside from the crazy ass scenes, there are a couple highlights in this movie, so for now let's talk about the characters. Right from the start, you got a clear image of how shy and timid Bear is. He needed practice to confess his love for his childhood friend Nikki. Thing is, his other close friend Ian recommends for Bear to just wait for him to confess his love to Nikki, and as the movie progresses, we get to see why. Back to Bear though, because as the movie progresses, it's clear as day that this guy's afraid to speak up or be himself. At times I caught myself thinking, my guy, just stop being a freaking coward. Like speak up, say something, do something, and just stop being there. But that's the beauty of this character and the script. It makes you connect and interact with this movie because you feel a certain way about it. Each time Bear was on the screen, you got a sense of how dark his aura really is. He was always covered by a shadow and surrounded by darkness. whereas others around him are slightly being touched by the sun or by light in general. But for now, let's talk about Nikki, the one that he loves so much. To me, it's pretty crazy how this movie makes you like her so quickly, all because a quick snippet shows her taking money from her friend, from Sarah, and giving it to the homeless. What a nice gesture right there. This quick character development amazed me. This shows you how well-written scenes make you feel so much about an important character in so little time. You literally like her within the first 10 minutes of the movie. I will say this, Nikki is only the victim of the story. The villain here is not what you think. It's not easy deciding who the main antagonist here is. It's not as simple as you think. There are a lot of moving parts here. It's more like of a domino effect. One thing leads to another, and the outcome is Nikki being the victim of it all. Nikki had this extremely heartbreaking line by the end of the movie that made people in the theater gasp. I was completely distraught by how selfish Bear really was after hearing Nikki and responding with, "What's so bad about being with me? If you know, you know." There was one character here that I really loved, and her name was Sarah. She seemed to be the one to try her best to be out of trouble, except for one scene. She was trying to get accepted to art school with the goal of becoming a tattoo artist. She was the most chill person here. She actually reminded me so much of my sister. Maybe that's why I liked her so much. I will say I was so devastated by the end of the movie. I will say this again. If you know, you know. After seeing this movie 3 times in theater, I can think so much about Terrifier, and to be exact, one scene in particular, because holy crap, that thing was intense. But the thing here is, it has a good well-established story with great characters and a smooth like butter plot. The score here is truly another highlight because the score adds to the whole eerie vibe. This is really why you feel so uncomfortable and so creeped out at times. This movie had no business being so freaking funny, had no business being so well constructed, and had no business being as good as it was. This is a fresh take on horror, suspense, and psychological drama. This movie shows how someone's selfishness can overtake the good side and take the best of them. Bear was one of the main reasons here why everything happened, because he would do anything to keep what he couldn't have or shouldn't have. You are now in a situation where you would do anything to keep the love of your life content, and you're afraid to do anything or say anything that will throw off your partner. Afraid if whatever you say will make your partner hurt themselves or hurt you, but yet you put a wall to just neglect everything and live on with your life. All to keep what you have and what you want, despite being fake. You felt extremely bad for Nikki. She was trapped, and when she asked Bear to do something and he walked away, man, that really opened my eyes. Bear truly deserved everything that happened to him. As mentioned before, I've seen this movie 3 times in theater, and each time I've gone, it's basically sold out. This is a true phenomenon. Every single time the crowd there were gasping out loud. They were showing their anger during certain scenes. And we were all there for this amazing unexpected ride. This kind of experience is exactly what the theater was meant for. This movie does not waste your time with any scene. It goes straight into the point, and every single scene was needed. This movie has a message hidden behind all the psychological intense scenes. It covers traumatizing events of being in such an unhealthy relationship. A relationship where you are trapped, where you are chained down, no way to escape. Bear was willing to live a fake life to keep what he has. And the genius of it all just shows how well crafted this movie was and how it was much needed. This movie truly deserves all the praise. The acting and story is there. The horror and suspense is there. The gore and drama is all there. You've got it all. So in conclusion, Obsession is an unsettling psychological thriller that goes straight into your brain. This movie is meant to be seen with your friends so you can see each other's reactions. It makes you feel eerie, uncomfortable, and uneasy. This is a true phenomenon in theater right now. Behind all the cynical insanity, you have a message that we all can relate to. Obsession is not overhyped at all, and I'm glad to say that fortunately so far, this is really the best movie of 2026. This all leads me to my rating for this film, and for this one, guess what? I gave it a 5 out of 5. This is definitely the best cinematic experience in theater. I recommend buying it in 4K or in VOD for your digital collection. Well, Thank you for your time today, my cinematic family, and for sticking until the end of the video. If you are a true cinephile, please hit the subscribe button. By the way guys, if you like this review, you would definitely love checking out my review for Hokum. This is another horror movie of 2026 that delivers the goosebumps, the creepy vibes, and it has some great scares. Definitely check it out. I am Chewy, and this is Chewy Cinematic Talk. Take care and I'll see you next time.